people have traveled a long distance to get here today, and it's nice and cold, and I appreciate all the parents and relatives and everyone that has come, and all of our J-streamers here that are coming to be supportive of my class. We've been studying Greek mythology for a few weeks, and the students have read several plays and decided they voted on this one. It's called The Gods Must Be Crazy, the story of Cupid and Psyche. If you're familiar with the story about the 4 tasks, or if you're familiar with this character Cupid, and when he shoots someone with his arrow, they fall in love immediately, that's kind of what the story's about. So just a little side note, I was going to tell you that everything has been done by the students. The backdrop, the sound effects, the acting, whether they should come in from the left or the right, the programs, everything is made by the students, 100%. So I'm very proud, and this is the Red Cast's last show this morning. So it's a funny play, so please feel free to laugh because that makes it a lot more fun. We're going to hear a little bit more from Wadasi about the show, so we'll give her a little welcome.
This story was written down by a Roman writer, probably based on Greek sources. In this version, we use the Greek names for the gods except one, Cupid. Most people know Cupid as the archer of love. In this myth, a beautiful young woman named Psyche gets tangled up in a web of intrigue created by jealous goddess Aphrodite and her son Cupid. Before the story ends, Cupid's famous arrows will come into play, along with some nice ants, mean sheep with golden wool, and a box that could be easily nicknamed Pandora.
Welcome to Mount Olympus. My name is Zeus, and I'm going to be your host today. As top guide here, I can assure you that we guys are very, very powerful, but we also have our share of quirks. Some of us have been known to be silly, angry, or even downright jealous of you humans.
Not me. No human could ever be as beautiful and popular as I am. And if anyone ever tried, they'd be in big trouble.
See what I mean? Now today I want to tell you the story of a young woman named Psyche, who had the sad luck to be born more beautiful than... Sorry, I meant almost as beautiful as Aphrodite here. It's a story with lots of twists and turns, so stick close with me.
Scene 1, Sisterly Love.
When Psyche was born, her parents couldn't believe what a cute baby she was. Later on, as she grew up, everyone admired Psyche's amazing beauty. Everyone, that is, except her sisters.
What's she got that I haven't gotten? Why should so many men have crushes on her, when clearly I'm more sophisticated and elegant?
And what about me? I don't deserve between the shadow of our little sister either. What makes her think she's so great?
But Psyche didn't have a swell head from all the attention. When suitors came from all over Greece to ask her to marry them, she could hardly be bothered.
Do these guys always have to follow me wherever I go? I can't even go down the well without being followed by 10 of them. I wish they'd just go away.
Aphrodite couldn't have agreed more with Psyche's wish. She knew that the men following her around had forgotten about her and her need for worship.
If there's one thing I can't stand, it's a human who's competing with the gods. Where's that son of mine?
Right here, Mom, may I say, you look stunning today.
Don't try to butter me up. I've got a job for you. Shoot one of your little magic arrows into Psyche and make her fall in love with a tree, or rock, or skunk. That'll teach her a lesson.
Anything you say, Mom, I'll be back in 2 shakes of Pegasus' tail.
But when the winged archer flew to Psyche's home and got a better look at her, he had a change of heart.
Wow, she's even prettier than... No, I better not say that. I can't make her fall in love with a skunk. I'll just put this arrow away and go home.
But as he went to put the arrow away, he accidentally jabbed his finger. According to the magic arrow's rules, he was sure to fall in love with the first person he saw. That person was the beautiful human Psyche. It was his mother's worst nightmare, but he was never going to let her know. Instead, he set out to get help from his good friend Apollo, the god of sun and fortune telling.
Scene 2, Cupid's scheme.
It wasn't long before Psyche's big stream of marriage proposals dried up. Almost like magic, you might say.
Well, I guess there's some justice in the world.
We both made princes, but our darling little sister hasn't landed anyone. Too bad I'm all broken up about it.
Psyche's parents feared that the gods now hated their youngest daughter for some reason, so they too went to the god Apollo for help.
Your daughter's fate isn't a happy one. She's destined to be the bride of, well, a monster with wings who lives on top of a mountain. If you want the gods to be happy, you must leave on that side of the mountain.
It wasn't true. Cupid had told Apollo to say those things, but Psyche's parents didn't know that. With broken hearts, they brought her to the mountainside. As night fell, Psyche fought hard to keep up her guard, but the dark and cold were more than she could stand. A deep sleep fell over her. As she slept, a gentle wind magically picked her up and brought her to a hidden valley. When she woke, she found herself on the steps of a huge golden mansion.
Where am I? Hello? Anyone home? Could someone tell me whose house this is?
This is your house, Psyche, and I'm the husband the God have chosen for you. I love you, Psyche.
You're the monster?
Well, actually, I'm pretty okay looking, and I'm not a monster.
Then come out and let me see you.
No, I want you to love me for who I am, not what I look like or what my family is. I'll come visit you at night, and if you try to see me, all this will be ruined, and we'll have to go our separate ways.
We gods can be a little shy around humans. We prefer to be known from afar, which can be a problem if you happen to be married to a human.
All right, husbands, I have to trust what you say.
So to live quite happily in the new house.
Scene 3. The light of the lamp.
They talked all day, but Cupid didn't stop hiding himself from Psyche until the night had darkened the house. Everything was going along amazingly until Psyche began to miss the family.
Are you happy, sweet Psyche?
Yes, everything is quite lovely, but
But what? Let me know what it is, and I promise I'll fix it.
I miss my sisters. Could they come visit me here?
No, they'll ask too many questions.
But you've already promised. Is your word meaningless?
All right, they can come, but don't tell them anything about me.
So it was arranged. Before long, the sisters had been reunited.
Psyche, we thought you might be dead, but look at you, living in this house. That husband of yours must be one rich monster.
Tell all, Psyche. By the way, does that monster mistreat you?
He's not a monster. He's a young prince. He's away now visiting his father, the king, on an important business.
Look at all these jewels you have. What a collection.
Oh, my husband's been collecting jewels for years. Right now he's on an expedition to buy even more.
But I thought you said he was a young prince visiting his dad.
Well, he's sort of collecting jewels is his hobby when he's not busy being a prince.
Her sisters could tell that she was making up stories. They insisted on the truth.
I don't know the truth exactly. I know my husband is generous and kind, but I've never seen him.
You've never seen him?
I wish I could say that about my husband.
He won't show himself to me during the day. He says we shouldn't worry about our appearances.
Listen, sister. Who's to say you're not married to a bloodthirsty monster? He can eat you alive at any moment. You gotta find out who he is.
Tonight, when he's asleep, sneak over to him with a lamp and get a good look.
Oh, make sure you have a dagger in hand. That way you can protect yourself if he tries to attack you.
That night she did as her older sister suggested. She got the dagger ready and raised the lighted lamp over them.
It's Cupid! I'm married to the god of love!
Her hand started shaking. The dagger fell from her trembling fingers, and a drop of hot oil lamp oil splashed on her shoulder. That was some warm thought.
So, you didn't listen to me. Well, now that you've seen me, goodbye.
No, wait, please!
In a flash, the Cupid and the house were gone. She found herself sitting in an empty field all alone. Realizing what she had lost, she began to cry.
Psyche wasn't the sort of person to sit around and feel sorry for herself. She searched high and low for Cupid, and finally learned that he had gone back to live at his mother's house. Psyche dreaded having to speak with the great goddess of beauty, but in the end, she went to the temple of Aphrodite to plead for Cupid's return.
Well, look who it is. Haven't you caused enough trouble already?
Please, goddess, tell me where I can find my husband.
I've got him locked up safe and sound so he can recover from the nasty burn you gave him. You're not good enough to be my son's bride anyway.
Please, don't talk to me like that.
Are you willing to take a few tests to see if you deserve him?
Yes, yes.
Fine. Here's the first test.
Aphrodite picked up 3 huge bags, each filled with a different kind of grain, and dumped them all out on the ground.
Now pick up each piece of grain and put it back in the bag it came from. Have all the grain picked up by sundown. Got it?
Oh no, I'll never be able to get that done. I'll never get Cupid back.
Just then, a little ant heard Psyche's cry.
Oh, no, let's help this poor creature.
Little by little, grain by grain, they filled up the sacks. By sunset, the job was finished, much to Psyche's joy and Aphrodite's disgust.
So you did okay on the easy test.
There's more?
Of course. See way over there, those lovely gold-colored sheep? I want you to collect some of their pure gold wool and bring it back to me. Just don't get too badly gored by their wicked horns while you're out there.
Psyche set out at once toward the sheep's meadow. Scissors in her hand, she was just about to chase after a little lamb to give it a haircut when she heard a voice.
Don't try it, kid.
Who said that?
Me down here sticking out of the water by your right foot.
A reed?
You know, tall grass, low shallow water. That's me.
Now a reed is telling me what I should do?
Those sheep will tear you apart in a second if you go near them.
Then how am I supposed to get some of their wool?
They've been running through some brambles. When they're sleeping, go up to the bushes and grab the bits of wool they have laying around. You'll get your wool without getting stuck.
Thanks for the tip. I'll be more careful about where I walk from now on.
Aphrodite was furious when Psyche returned with the golden roll. She gave the young beauty more horrible tasks to complete, but each time, some plant or animal took pity on Psyche and lent her a hand. Finally, she gave her an empty box.
Take this box down to Queen of the Underworld and bring back some of her beauty.
Persephone, as you may know, is the queen of the underworld, a place where all the dead go. It's not a place for living people, that's for sure. She managed to get by all the fierce and terrible guards down there and into the court of the queen. She even convinced her to give up some of her beauty. Then the trouble started.
I wonder what Persephone's beauty secret is. Maybe you can help me, since those horrible sounds from Aphrodite have been really hard on my skin.
She opened the box just a peep, and instantly a foul, powerful wind rushed out of the crack and into her face.
Help! Help! I can't breathe!
She fell to the ground, overpowered by the fumes that were now forcing her back to the underworld for good. Luckily, Cupid appeared just at that moment.
My mother knows how to lock a door, but she always forgets to lock the window. Psyche, I'm coming.
He rushed over to his bride, closed the dangerous box, and revived Psyche with his special godly powers.
Just what has my mother been making you do?
It's a long story.
When Cupid had learned how Psyche had worked to win him back, his love for her grew deeper than ever. As soon as he could, he brought her up to meet Zeus and asked a special favor.
O King of the gods, will you make my bride a god like the rest of us? I want her not only to be my bride, but also my partner. She can help me with all the young lovers out there in the world.
So I said, so be it, and gave Psyche a golden cup full of nectar, our special drink here at Mount Olympus. As soon as she took a sip, she became a goddess.
Oh.
That evening, Olympus thundered and shook as we danced the night away. Even Aphrodite, who could hardly object to her son marrying another god, came and danced at the feast.
Thank you for coming to our play. I would now like to introduce the cast. Music and sound effects, Jeffrey and Zach. Lighting, Brian. Prompter, Matt. Publicity, Brian and Nicole. Costume designers and props, Chantel and Frankie. Set designers, Sam, Irving, Alex, Nicole, and Brian. Play director, Austin. Closing remarks, me, Brittany. Introduction, Wadasi. Parents, Sam and Rebecca. Admirers, Austin. Aunts, Zach and Irving. Apollo, Austin. Mean Sheet, Matt and Nicole. Reed, Sam. Sisters, Wadasi and Mansari. Kara, Haley. Zeus, Joey. Aphrodite, Frankie. Cupid, Alec. And Psyche, Andrea.